Hello, this is Mike with Christian Meds. This week I want to talk a little bit about treating people like family. So let's get started. So we don't get to usually choose our family. Some people have great families that are very loving and supporting. Some people don't. Um, when it comes to loving on people and allowing people to be a part of your life and interacting with them in a loving, caring manner, it's really important that you treat your family first in that manner, and then have more and more of an extended family and interacting with people and loving on people and allowing them to see Christ in you. In other words, so much of our relationship with God in the first place is a relationship one-on-one between Him and us, right? And a lot of times we read scriptures and we end up going through the Bible so that we feel closer to God. But then there's another aspect where we want to represent Him well as being imagers of Him. In other words, us looking and being, the type of person that He would be, happy to interact with. A lot of times, for me lately, because the whole thing with the pandemic and all that, I look at people in service jobs and jobs where they end up, either serving us dinner or, being, nurses in hospitals or doctors in hospitals that are, so stressed out, and just, if you can give them a kind word, if you can give them a bigger tip, if you can give them, some sort of smile and give them thanks and appreciation for the job they do. I think it's just so important at this time in the way society is to just love on each other as, supernatural family members. We are all connected. We all are vibrational beings that end up, either having good moods or bad moods, either being completely stressed out or in a rest and relaxed state. And that whole thing, all stems from just our presence. And when we can show love, when we can show gratitude towards people and them being a part of our lives, making our lives better, we need to absolutely, that's part of the relationship aspect of this channel, where we are caring about having solid relationships with people, whether they're our family, whether they're our close friends, and whether they're just people that we meet through society. Maybe they're people that we work with in our jobs. Sometimes that person that you don't like working with, just needs a friendly thought or a friendly word from you. And that whole situation could change. Sometimes it's easier said than done, but that's okay. The whole thing is that we're supposed to just do our best. Start trying to be gracious towards people. Start trying to show more gratitude towards the way that they have been helping you. Sometimes, even if it's a coworker that you don't get along with, sometimes that coworker still needs a job. Maybe they're going through things that are stressing them out that has nothing to do with you, nothing to do with the job, and maybe if you're nice and friendly to them, then all of a sudden they can, just be a little bit nicer to people around them. I'm not saying it happens overnight, but a lot of times we just need to show that we are all connected, that's part of the whole greatest commandment, and a supernatural worldview where we're trying to say our fellow man are imagers of God and that they deserve to be treated with love and respect, you know. And it doesn't matter if it's some guy begging for money on the street or it's somebody being just kind of crazy, you know, behind the wheel. You know, give that person space, give that person, you know, room. Maybe that's the loving act that you need to do. So just be mindful of the loving act this week. That's kind of where I'm going with all this. You know, just try to lift up people's spirits. There's been so much negativity, so much division in this world, and you know, the more we can love and unite, the better off this world is. So if somebody's in a service job that you can give a bigger tip, give a bigger tip if you can afford it. If you can't afford it, you know, pray for the resources to be able to give a bigger tip in the future. You know, God's listening. God wants you to ask. And sometimes we just forget to ask. And, you know, God blesses me all the time, and I try to pass it along to people, you know. And that's just kind of some of my thoughts this week. Hope everybody have a blessed week, and we'll talk to you next week.